Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got question Chase, has got the facts, talking NFL numbers, he's got your back. A little chart trend ball, man, he's got it like that. Chasing data by do champions. Chasing data applies to everyone. Chasing data, yeah, we're live today. Chasing data for always. Chasing data, Baidu champions.
What's up, and welcome to week 15 of Chasing Data. We've made it this far. You know the drill by now. We go through all the games, we hit all the high points, we talk about the playoff scenarios, what the numbers are going to say for all these teams, who's doing what in week 15. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into first game, which is Thursday Night Football, which has implications for one team, not so much the other team. The Falcons, their season is over. We know that. The Kirk Cousins-led Falcons season is over. Let's see. Let's look at the Falcons, what they've done. What's the difference between Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins being under center this season? It's one thing that has me curious. I mean, the fact that the Bucks have not won many games as of late. They're 7-6, and the Carolina Panthers still have a chance to take this division. Uh, Michael Penix had 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Kirk Cousins has 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. EPA per drawback, Kirk Cousins is playing absolutely way worse than the likes of Michael Penix. Michael Penix minus .04 EPA per drawback. Kirk Cousins minus .24 EPA per drawback. So with this game, currently the Falcons are just 4.5-point underdogs. Surprisingly, I thought it would be much more. I mean, the Bucks have underachieved as of late. They started off hot early in the season. What were they? They were like 5-0 or something? What were they? I don't want to misspeak. I mean, they were 5-1, 5-1 to start the season, and ever since they were 5-1, they've now gone 2-5. So, like I said, they've fallen off. They're only 4.5-point favorites in this game. NFL Pro has both of these teams wearing throwbacks, which I would be surprised to see, but that would be an interesting matchup for sure. The Bucks, I mean, where do these teams stand out at in this game? How can they win the game? Well, Kirk Cousins is obviously going to have to play better. He has one of the worst EPA per dropbacks right now, and it has not looked good. I mean, he's made Bijan not look great, which is a hard task to accomplish. The Bucks, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, the Falcons, surprisingly, with their defense, they cannot contain the quarterback scramble. But Baker Mayfield, we know what he does sometimes when he gets out of the pocket and gets moving. It's just, I'm really surprised at their points per game with the Bucks. They're currently 17th with 17 points per game. And do the Titans still have a Super Bowl chance? And maybe in 2032, not this year. But when you look at the Bucks, I mean, their offense has just been sputtering as of late. Let me look at their efficiency ratings. Let's see. So Tampa Bay, as far as EPA per play goes, two of their 4 worst games have come in the last 3 weeks of the season. So yeah, not looking good for the likes of Tampa Bay Bucks. But I mean, here we are. So I mean, what are you going to do? I do think the Bucks win this game. They should not lose it to the Falcons and Kirk Cousins. They lose to Kirk Cousins, the season's over, and the Panthers. The Panthers should win the division. I mean, right now, like I'm saying, the offense for Tampa Bay, after I projected they would be potentially a top 10 offense, if not top 5, if they hit on all cylinders this year. And right now, as far as EPA per play, they are the 22nd ranked offense. So, not ideal to say the least. Singletary or Judkins? So the Browns are going up against the Bears. Singletary is going up against the Washington Commanders. I think there's too much our running back by committee and the Giants backfield for me to go Singletary. So I think we go Judkins, especially with Shador. They've been better. The offense has been getting better, putting up points for once. And with that game, going straight into the Browns and the Bears. Bears are 7.5 point favorites. The Bears are still 9-4, exceeding expectations more than anyone ever would have thought for this season. Since week 9, Kyle Monangai, 154 rush yards before contact, third most in the NFL during that span. Am I keeping Tua? So I wear a different shirt every week. It just happened to be a Miami Dolphins shirt this week, and I don't think you can get rid of him just due to the fact that the dead cap hit is going to be so outrageous. I think you bring in some competition for sure and go from there. Top 5 quarterbacks right now. So top 5 in the NFL. What the efficiency? I'm just going to use the efficiency in small argument, and by efficiency I mean EPA drawback. You have Jordan Love, Drake May, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold. My top 5 in no order would include Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, just due to his highs that he's had. Jordan Love. I don't think Josh Allen has been playing like a top 5 quarterback. He has 10 interceptions this year. So number 5, if you have Jordan Love, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, number 5 for me, who would it have to be? I mean, potentially Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert. I think I go Dak Prescott. Very important game in the noon slot. The Ravens at the Bengals. 2.5 point favorites are the Ravens. They should win this game. They should have won the last 2 games, but they have not. You think Jalen is still up there? No, he is. He would be pushing it to be in my top 10, honestly. Looking at what Jalen Hurts did last night, he had the 4 interceptions. Not completely all his fault, but I mean, where did his game rank last night? Let's see. We're looking at the offense. Well, let's look at the pass game. EPA per pass last night. That game out of 414 games, 416, sorry, 416 offensive performances. That game was 398th. So, yeah, I mean, he's just not holding on to the ball. That was like his calling card last year, is the fact that he was able to hold on to the ball. And this season, he really has not. He had 4 interceptions first time since 2018. He was 5 for 20 when under pressure. That 25% completion percentage was the lowest of any quarterback this season when facing, or no, not when under pressure, on throws of over 2.5 seconds. Sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to get this comment changed. I want it to pan for more than. Is it still pan? Settings. All right, that's fine. The Ravens, obviously, they have to win that game to get into the playoffs. Titans better win, yeah. They're hot. Now let them get hot. They could finish the season at a solid 6-11. If they finish the season 6-11, man, whew, that would change the outlook of this team. Brian Callahan may never coach again in the NFL. On to the next game. We have the Cardinals. Last week we had so many great games. Terry Kamara, T. Marv, or Wilson. They would go Michael Wilson over Marv, just over what's been happening lately. Terry, I mean, man, the Commanders put up 0 points last week. Kamara, I think we go T. Higgins. T. Higgins, especially against the Ravens. The Ravens struggled against them last time. What happened in that last game when they played each other as far as T. Higgins' output? I don't want the box score. Regardless, T. Higgins, if T. Higgins can't be playing with those two head injuries he had. How do I think Pittman's production will change? Well, being that he is an entire generation younger than Philip Rivers, who I would assume would be playing this week. I mean, I don't think it'll take much. We already know that he knows Shane Steichen's offense. He played under Shane Steichen and with the Chargers. His son's high school team runs the same offense as Shane Steichen. They've been in contact all season. Per J.J. Watt, Michael, appreciate the follow. I think Pittman will his production will drop off substantially. I mean, what has Michael Pittman done as of late? Let's look at his numbers. I mean, this offense has just sputtered ever since Daniel Jones had the fracture, and I mean, obviously the Achilles this past weekend. I mean, Michael Pittman went 9 for 79 this week. I just don't see Philip Rivers coming in and being able to do that. I really do not. I mean, the guy is 44 years old, 2 years older than Aaron Rodgers. He hasn't played since COVID 2020. Darnold or Mahomes this week? Darnold. Let's see. Mahomes. I mean, man, that's a must win for them. Darnold's going up against the Colts. Probably no Charvarius Ward in the secondary. Mahomes on the other end going up against the Chargers. And we saw what that secondary did to Jalen Hurts. Not comparing Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, but they both played awful in Week 14. I think we go Darnold. We go the higher ceiling with Darnold. He could have a dud, or he could throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns. Goddard or Schultz? So Goddard is going up against Las Vegas, so I want to say is one of the worst teams against opposing tight ends in the NFL. We know that they are one of the worst pass defenses, if I'm not mistaken. EPA allowed per pass. Yeah, they're the 5th worst. So Goddard looks good in that sense. He does have Jalen Hurts throwing him the ball, who was god awful this past week. On the other end of the ball, on the other side, you have Dalton Schultz, who's going up against the Arizona linebacker core, I should say. And Arizona is currently 9th. I think I still go though. I think he's just going to be in the middle of the field where Jalen Hurts wants to look because he don't look anywhere else. Y'all better beat the Steelers. I want Tomlin fired. Yes. So I wear a different shirt every week. Got the Dolphins on this week. Just felt highly on them after their dominant win over the strong team in New York. But I'm a Ravens fan at heart, so yes, I hope the Dolphins do beat the Steelers as well. Joe Flacco is older, and I think Joe Flacco plays better. Is he truly? Oh, he's not 44. I might look it, but Joe Flacco is better than what Philip Rivers is going to give us this week, I do believe. Thankfully, I have Seattle's defense in both fantasy playoffs, which is great, going up against the Colts. Rivers will be good for them. I mean, yeah, compared to Brett Ripien, who they have as the only other quarterback that's also on the practice squad. Riley Leonard has the knee injury that's day to day, so we'll see what happens. Green Bay or Broncos? That's probably the game of the week, honestly. I don't think if not that one, Detroit at the Rams. That's the 2 games of the week. Man, I just really think that the Broncos have overachieved. They're 11-2. I do think they are a good team. But at some point they have to falter. And it may be this week because the Packers defense, man. One second. So the Broncos have the best record in the NFL, but they have the ninth best point differential. The Seahawks have over twice as much of a point differential as they do. Man, I mean, this game is just going to be amazing to watch, though, with the Broncos and the Packers. Quick pass is one of the weaknesses of the Broncos. Broncos are currently middle of the league with quick passes under 2.5 seconds, and the Packers' offense is number one. Jordan Love has been playing like an MVP top three MVP vote getter. I mean, I think he's still behind the likes of Matthew Stafford and Drake May. He has 22 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. He has the highest EPA per dropback in the NFL. Christian Watson, since he's come back, he's been wide receiver one that they've needed in this offense, especially with Tucker Kraft going down. And on the defensive side of the ball, they have the likes of Micah Parsons and everyone else that is involved under Jeff Hafley. They've been playing great. Uh, I mean, they just went two close games with the Denver Broncos. I mean, out of their 11 wins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of their 11 wins are one-score wins. It's not bode well for me. Uh, they're currently minus 650 to win the division, though. It's 370 to win the conference, plus 1,000 to win the Super Bowl. All right, let me get to the rest of the comments. Sorry. Yeah, Jags are good. How do you feel against far game against Pittsburgh in the cold? As an outsider Dolphins fan, I'm a Ravens fan hard. I hope they beat the Steelers. Obviously, we want Devon Achane to be 100% healthy. If Tua cannot make the foolish turnovers, the defense has played better as of late. I mean, the first third of the season, they were one of the worst, if not the worst secondary, especially when you look at the efficiency numbers. But they've been serviceable. If the good thing is that Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers are just quick game oriented. He has the most yards after catch percentage wise by any quarterback in I think in 15 seasons or something like that. Joey, appreciate the follow. So I think if they can prevent the deep pass, which is not a big thing in the Pittsburgh offense, they can get after their defense and their linebacker core with Devon Achane and their ability to put players in motion on the offensive side of the ball. Currently, the spread for that game, Monday Night Football, Pittsburgh's favored by 3. I still think the Dolphins could improve on that. Everybody wants the Dolphins to beat the Steelers. No one likes the Steelers. I only got 3 of these. Can I start Brissett this week? Absolutely not. I would go with a tier lower quarterback just because he's playing the Texans, and the Texans are the best defense in the NFL. And we saw what they did to Patrick Mahomes last week. Debo or Terry? I mean, higher ceiling probably Terry, but I mean, they can't be any worse than what he was last week when they put up 0 points. Jordan Mason or Algier? I think you go Jordan Mason because he's been getting like equal numbers of touches to Aaron Jones. Algier is more of a goal line. He still gets a lot of touches, but I think the higher floor is probably Mason. Egbuka or Jettas? Egbuka is going up against the Falcons. Justin Jefferson going up against probably my fantasy team if I had to guess. Dallas Cowboys. He'll go Justin Jefferson. Cowboys, although their defense has been better. Bills versus Patriots play as well. Oh, okay. Goff or Dart this week? So Goff is going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Dart is going up against the Commanders. I think we go Jackson Dart, especially against that defense in the Commanders. One of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. Okay against the run, but Corum, Pollard, or Michael Wilson for the flex. So Pollard, who went crazy last week, going up against the 49ers. I don't expect the same thing. They're currently almost 2 touchdown dogs in that game. They'll probably be behind early and not getting a lot of carry. Blake Corum, I think he's going to get a lot of carries. I think I go Blake Corum. Michael Wilson's going up against the Texans. Steve, I hope the Dolphins beat the Steelers because I'm a Ravens fan. Just that I wear a different shirt every week, and we got the Dolphins. Start McBride. Yeah, I mean, what's your other option? I mean, he's one of the best tight ends as far as fantasy. Jettas or Christian Watson, we go Watson. I know Justin Jefferson's going up against the Cowboys and their secondary that is at times. But even though he's going up against the Cowboys, Christian Watson's been wide receiver for the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna get to all these comments. If you don't follow and you enjoy that, Side of football. Hit that follow button for me. First season doing this, so we're trying to just continue to grow. Go Broncos. Man, Broncos, they got that game of the week, I think, this week. Them versus the Packers. Sit one. Egbuka, Pickens, Myers, Wilson, DK. Probably Michael Wilson because he's going up against the Texans. Uh, he's probably going to have Kamari Lassiter on him, I would guess. I mean, it doesn't matter. The Texans defense is going to shut this off. McBride or Schultz? I think you may have to go Schultz just because of the same argument of what the Texas defense is going to do to McBride. Raiders thoughts in general are for this game. I mean, they're going to lose the game, I would assume, if the Eagles lose to the Raiders. The Raiders have to bring in a new quarterback next season, at least to compete against Geno Smith. They don't have to take it with the 4th overall pick. They want to, cool. But they have to bring in some competition. Geno Smith has had the worst season of his career since he has came back from not being a starter. As far as EPA per dropback, his efficiency rating, this is his worst season by far, and he's like in the bottom 5 of the NFL out of like 35 qualifying quarterbacks. So the season's over. Obviously, they just need to try to get draft capital. Struggling to figure out who to start this week between Nix, Williams, or Darnold. Darnold has the higher ceiling. I think secondly, if you had to rank them, I go Darnold first, then probably, Darnold, Nix, then Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams going up against Cleveland. We know what Myles Garrett's going to do. ETN or Chase Brown. Chase Brown going up against the Ravens. ETN is going up against the Jets. I think we go Chase. ETN. Javonte Henderson. So Henderson is going up against the Buffalo Bills, and I think that's all we need to know. The Buffalo Bills have one of the worst run defenses in the NFL as far as any metric that you look at. EPA allowed per rush, yards after contact, yards before contact is all bottom third of the league. Let's start. I think I go Christian Watson over Justin Jefferson. Kyren or Corum. I think we still go Kyren. He's still RB1, but is much closer than it should be in that defense. How about those Bills? As a Ravens fan at heart, it's good to see the Bills struggle from time to time. The Great Gibbs, appreciate the follow. Thanks. Wait, okay. Warren or Likely for? I think we go Warren. Likely is tight end too in that offense, and he hasn't won much this year. He had the opportunity to take off and get that new contract, but did not this season. Drake May or Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow is going up against the Ravens. He did great against them last time. Drake May is going up against Buffalo. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Probably Drake May, though. It's going to be a high-scoring game in Buffalo. I don't think there's not going to be less than 40 points scored. Over-under in that game, the Bills are favored. Over-under is 50.5. So based on Vegas odds, you go Drake May. RJ Harvey or Wandale for the flex. Here we go, Wandale. The Packers defense is great, but Wandale's going up against the secondary and the Commanders, which is one of the worst as far as efficiency ratings. Kelsey or Bailey Kelsey, Bailey, or Mooney. I think we go Kelsey and Mooney. I don't care about it. Anderson and Crystal. Appreciate the follow. I mean, I just don't. Vele I don't think he's going to be getting consistent usage. I just don't trust Tyler Shough. Leon, appreciate the follow. Hurts or Dart this week. My opponent has Burrow. Jackson Dart for sure. Jackson Dart is going up against the Washington Commanders. Defense is in the bottom third of the league. Pass defense is in the bottom 4 of the league. It's terrible. He should go crazy against the secondary. Jalen is coming off a terrible week, even though he's going up against Las Vegas. I think he should probably struggle again this week. Oh, appreciate the follow. Let's see. Hampton or Neal at the flex. Got Gibbs and Chase Brown. Jesus Christ. I think Kamara may be getting some run this week. So I think we go Hampton. I know Vidal is still getting some run, but I think Hampton's Man, appreciate the GGs. Appreciate that. Hurts or May? Not sure if this is a real question or not, but we obviously go Drake May in that high scoring affair. Drake May is possibly leading the MVP race by some people. I know Matthew Stafford is number one per the books, but Drake May is just playing out of his mind. Jalen Hurts coming off one of the worst games of his career. Godwin or Jennings? And I think just my gut says Godwin. Ladd or Diggs? So we have Diggs against Buffalo. I think there's going to be a game that he wants to get the ball a lot, and Ladd's going up against Casey. I trust Diggs more with Drake, honestly. Man, again, appreciate the TJUs. Ends up, yep, this week, as a Ravens fan, we need the Dolphins to beat the Steelers because the Ravens cannot beat them. So. K9 or Kamara? K9. I know they're going up against the Colts, but I trust K9 in that offense more than I do Kamara in the Saints offense. Diggs over Ladd. At flex. Harvey, Travion, Javon. God, what is this? A 14 league? Man, that is not Pittman. Not Egbuka. Probably Travion, Javante, Harvey in that order. Egbuka or Robinson? Egbuka. Egbuka for sure. Going up against the Falcons, it's going to bounce back at some point. This offense as a whole in Tampa Bay has to bounce back. I was talking about it earlier in the fact of like they've played terrible. Two of their four worst games efficiency wise were in the last 3 weeks and have just dropped off substantially. This week we just don't have the slate of games that we had the last 2 weeks. Let's see. Something I was looking at today, talking about the Dolphins. Yards after contact per attempt leaders. Number one, Devon Achane at 4.4. Surprisingly, in the top five, Blake Corum at 3.7. He has been. That's why he's been getting so much work usage because he's just producing a lot. Obviously, in that offense, he had over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Myers, Godwin, Jennings. Myers for sure. He's wide receiver one for Trevor Lawrence. Surprisingly, and I think we go Chris Godwin. My gut says Chris Godwin. So must wins for this week. All right. So the 5 teams with the lowest win playoff probability based on the models. Obviously, the Vikings have to win. They have currently Vikings and Dolphins currently have less than a 1% chance per the models. The Bengals need to win. They have a 3% chance. The Cowboys. It says 11%, but I think they're less of a must win than the Chiefs. Chiefs have to win. Chiefs are 6-7. They basically have to win out to go 10-7, but they still play the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Patriots. So it's going to be a difficult role for them. Defense that are in waivers are Cowboys, Bears, Bills. Pick one. Cowboys are going up. Sorry, Cowboys are going against the Vikings, which is all thing because they're playing JJ McCarthy. Bears against the Browns, Bills against the Patriots. Definitely not the Bills. I think I may want to lean the Cowboys just because I don't trust JJ McCarthy. Second choice would be the Bears. So ETN or Hall. ETN for sure. ETN for sure. Jacob, appreciate the follow. ETN. Appreciate the GGs again, man. I do appreciate that. I think that is definitely a record for GGs, so I do appreciate that. Goff, Lamar, Dart. Start 2. It's a 2-quarterback league. We have Goff going up against the Rams, Lamar going up against the Bengals, and Dart going up against the Commanders. Dart, sure. I know he's the worst of the 3, but I think we go Dart for sure. And then I think we go Lamar. He's not going to have the same game that he had against the Bengals 2 weeks ago. Wandale or Pittman? Waddle or Pittman? Waddle for sure. Man, still going. Thanks again. Waddle, they're going up against the Steelers. Secondary has been suspect at times. Pittman is going to have my dad at quarterback, 44-year-old Philip Rivers, who hasn't played since COVID 2020. Also, Rivers coming back, exactly what I just said. So this is crazy to me that he is resetting his Hall of Fame clock because you have to be out of the league for 5 years in order for you to be Hall of Fame eligible. He's going to come back. If he gets signed to the active roster, he's currently on the practice squad. He gets signed to the active roster, which we all think he will. Um, he will have to reset that clock, which is crazy to me. But if he comes in and he takes the Colts to the playoffs, he's a Hall of Fame lock for sure. Hall of Fame, 100%. Fannin or Kelsey? I think we go Fannin. Man, still going. Appreciate it. Go Jags. Jags. I mean, they control their destiny for the playoffs, which is something I did not think was going to happen. The Jags currently 9-4. There's the 2 seed, no 3 seed, 3 seed in the AFC, and they play the Jets this week. Then they have the Broncos, Colts, and Titans. They should win 3 of those 4 games, and could finish 12-5, which is crazy. It's crazy, crazy. Hurts for Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going up against the Browns. But Jalen Hurts is just, what have you done for me lately? And he has played terribly for me lately, having one of the worst games of his career last night. 4 interceptions. He was 5 for 20 for 99 yards, and those 4 interceptions on throws that were over 2.5 seconds. So once he's holding on to the ball, he cannot produce. Showed it last night. That 5 for 20 was the worst quarterback completion percentage of any player of the season when holding on to the ball for over 2.5 seconds. Judkins or Wright if Achane is out. I think we go Wright, but I think Achane is playing. They said it was a rib injury, and if it was an emergency, he would have played. Yeah, thanks. Holmes or Goff? Going up against the Rams. You know, the Rams defense is one of the best in the league right now. And Mahomes going up against the Chargers. I think we go Mahomes. I mean, it's an easy choice either way. I mean, I just Mahomes. Mahomes is more must-win. Marks or Metcalf? Metcalf is going up against the Dolphins, which is terrible against the secondary was one of the worst at the beginning of the season. And Marks. Woody Marks going up against the Cardinals. Cardinals, when you look at the run defense this season, you look at the efficiency ratings, he allowed per rush attempt. Cardinals are in the bottom fourth of the league. I think we go Woody Marks. He's getting a bigger and bigger role each and every week. Achane and Lamb, yeah, I think they both play. Achane 100% does. Woods or Mike Evans? Man, that offense in Tampa Bay has just been sputtering as of late, and we know it's going to be a high-scoring affair in Buffalo. Over-under is 50.5. I think you go on Diggs against the Jags or Texans winning the division. I think the Texans are the better team, but the Jags have 3 of their last 4 games are against the Colts, the Titans, and the Jets. So they should win 3 of the last 4, and they're already a game ahead of the Texans, while the Texans do have the Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Colts. So the Jags would have to falter somewhere, and the Texans could win out. The Texans have won 5 in a row and 6 of their last 7. I do think the Texans are the better team. If Evans plays, do I start him over either Judkins or Jaylen Warren? I don't think so. I don't think I do. Purdy or Dak? Dak is going up against the Minnesota defense, and Purdy's going up against Tennessee defense. Man, the only thing that worries me about Purdy is that they're going to have such a huge lead that he may not get to play the fourth quarter to the fullest extent of his abilities. So I think I go Dak. Debo or ETN? ETN. I don't trust what the Commanders are doing at this moment. Watson or Wandale? Man, it's kind of hard to go wrong with either one. But I think we go Wandale just because he's not the better player. He just has the better matchup this week against one of the worst secondaries in the NFL with the Washington Commanders. Who do you got for the KC or the Chargers? Man, it's obviously a must-win for the Chiefs. They currently have a 13% chance to make the playoffs, And their last 4 games are Chargers, Broncos, Patriots. That's some other uh, easy game. I don't remember who it was. But they basically have to win out. They're currently 4.5-point favorites. They can't continue to sputter. And I think Chris Jones and George Karlaftis is just going to eat against his offensive line and Justin Herbert. So I think the Chiefs win this one. Michael Wilson? No, not against the likes of Houston Texans. I don't want to start anyone against the Houston Texans. Let's see. Goddard or Schultz? Probably Schultz. I think we go Schultz. I don't trust Hurts at the moment. Egbuka over Wilson? Yeah, Egbuka over Wilson, even though that offense has been sputtering. Bo Nix or J.J. McCarthy? Bo Nix 100%. I don't care that he's playing. I don't care if J.J.'s playing the Cowboys. Go Bo Nix for sure. Jackson Dart or Trevor Lawrence? Jackson Dart's going up against one of the worst secondaries in the Washington Commanders as far as efficiency ratings. And Trevor Lawrence is going up against the Jets. Trevor Lawrence has been playing hotter at a higher level, especially since Jacoby Myers has come back. Brenton Strange is there also. I think I go Trevor Lawrence. Dart Baker or Lamar? In this order, Dart, Lamar, Baker. Burrow or Stafford? Stafford. I mean, Stafford's just playing too well to not play him right now. All right. McLaurin, Wandale, or Michael Wilson, Wandale. Best matchup of the three. Should I start Purdy, Sanders, or Dart? Dart. Best matchup of the three. Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix? Jaden Daniels after last week, I think we go Bo Nix by default, even though he's going up against the Packers. The Broncos offense is really very awesome. So, Theo or Harold? I think we go Harold against the Bears defense. Fannin or Strange this week? Fannin. Yeah, Fannin. Jaden Reed or Devin Singletary? Devin Singletary. They're going up against the Broncos defense. There's too many mouths to feed. So you're really taking a risk with Jaden Reed. Bama or OU? Ohio. Emily, appreciate the follow. Jennings, McLaurin, or Gainwell in the flex? I think we go Gainwell, honestly. Going up against the Dolphins, I feel like there's going to be a little dink and dunk. Going to really attack the linebacker core, which is one of the weaknesses of the Dolphins. That whole outside the front four, it just gets weaker and weaker as you progress back in that defense. And I can see Gainwell doing what he did against the Ravens again this week against the Dolphins. Jags are going to the Super Bowl. Man, that would be a shock to everyone if they did that. Not saying they're not good, but it's an open AFC. Anything's possible. Got a fear of Denver shutting the Packers down on the outside. So Patrick Surtain he's not been what he was in years past. Let's just put it like that. When we look at the advanced numbers of his, like EPA allowed per target, let's see if I can put that up real quick. Pass rush rating. Last year he allowed a 59 passer rating. This year he's allowing an 80 passer rating. He's already about at the same number of yards allowed. Coverage EPA, he had a minus 24 EPA last year. This year he's at a positive EPA. So quite the flip. Still great, but I don't know if he's going to shut down the Green Bay Packers offense. I mean, not him alone, but Jordan Love has been able to play well under pressure. I know the Broncos have one of the best, probably number 2 defense in the NFL behind the Texans, but I don't know if they're going to shut them down. In Denver, I see the Broncos winning. Man, at some point, I was looking at it earlier. The Broncos have 11 wins. 9 of their 11 wins are one-score wins. At some point, it's going to catch up to them. And we see. I mean, they just can't. They're the Chiefs of last year. We saw what happened to the Chiefs this year in one-score games. They were like 9-0 last year, and now they're 1-6 or something like that this year. Purdy, Williams, or Mayfield? I think we go Purdy. Williams going up against the Cleveland Browns, so that kind of makes me a little hesitant. All right, I think we got about 5 more minutes on here. If you don't follow and you're into the analytical side of football, hit that follow button for me. Would appreciate it. First year doing this, so we're still trying to grow the channel. Might appreciate the follow. Try to post on all the teams, not one team. Just giving you a generalized understanding as I understand more and more about the NFL, about what the deeper numbers say. Okay. Do I think Shador could be the future of the Browns? I think at I think his ceiling is going to be an average quarterback. Now, if you can get the defense, I mean, they already have a good defense. If they can make this defense outstanding, top five, then yes. But I mean, we see what these rookie quarterbacks come in and do. I'm more curious about what he will do in season two when they have more tape. But yeah, he could be the quarterback of the future. I don't think it precludes them from drafting another quarterback in round two or three if they really like somebody next year. We'll see. Gainwell and Warren together, I would not. That's just I don't think they put up enough points together to take that chance. Converse, appreciate the follow. May, Burrow, or Dart. Man, all three of those are good choices, but if I had to put them in order, I go Drake May, Jackson Dart, Joe Burrow. Jackson Dart's going up against one of the worst defenses or secondaries in the NFL and the Commanders. Warren Shorts or Theo Johnson? Theo. Oh, Warren, I don't trust, regardless of who's center, Riley or Broncos, Raiders in the game. Um, shouldn't have played out the way it did. Um, Christian, appreciate the follow. Dart, Dart or Stafford? I mean, I think you can't sit Stafford. He's just been playing out of his mind, and it's going to be hard to sit him. Steelers, Frank, Monday night. Very possibly. We shall see. Appreciate that, man. Brisket, yeah, he's going to be turned into Brisket against the Houston Texans. I would not start. If I can avoid starting any Cardinals players, I do. I'm going up against the Texans. Uh, everyone that he needs next season. Philly, Texans. I mean, you can't not start Houston. I think the only way you don't start Houston is if you had maybe Seattle going up against Indy. I think Houston for sure. Hurts or Lawrence? Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence going up against the Jets. The Jets defense is nothing special. He's been playing much better as of late. So yeah, Hurts played terrible last week. No, the Dolphins are not out of contention yet. They currently, based on the models, have less than a 1% chance. Um, they currently have less than a 1% chance, but they still do have the opportunity. I'm trying to find. I had it earlier. All right, I don't want clinching. I want elimination scenarios. I had it earlier, but they have less. Obviously. So right now, what happens if they lose this week? If they lose, uh, they are out. They are out. They are out. Basically, have less than- And Achan, they said he would play last week. Emergency. So we'll be in there. Tebow or Cutler? Yeah, you start right if over Shakir if Achan's out, but I'm 99% sure that Achan will be playing. Josh Jacobs versus Denver or Javante versus Minnesota in fantasy? I think we go Javante. Javante is the more sure thing out of the two, especially against the Denver defense. Justin Jefferson, Debo, Quentin Johnson, Jaden Higgins. Justin Jefferson and Jaden Higgins over Debo or Quentin Johnson. Rivers going 4-0 and taking Colts to the playoffs. I said this earlier. If he comes back and he does this, he's a sure thing lock for the Hall of Fame 5 years from now. Because him coming back, you have to be out of the NFL for 5 years in order to be qualified to make the Hall of Fame. If he gets signed to the active roster, currently on the practice squad, if he gets signed to the active roster, he is then going to have to reset his Hall of Fame club. If he goes 4-0, he's making Godwin or Wilson. Godwin. Wilson's going up against the Texans. Not starting anyone against the Texans. Kyron or Hampton. There we go, Kyron. Miami Dolphins. Yeah, so I change my shirts every week. I have almost every team or maybe every team at this point in the NFL. I'm a Ravens fan at heart and just need the Dolphins to beat the Steelers. So we have the Dolphins shirt on tonight. But I think we are about done for tonight. Appreciate everybody stopping by. You have any Ravens? What's their deal? Man, Lamar, he has to have an undisclosed injury. I'm convinced at this point he has to have an injury. The defense, they played too terribly the first half of the season. It's like almost every coin flip that could go wrong has gone wrong this year. The defense improved in the second half of the season just like they did last year. But the offense just isn't clicking. It looked better last week, but just turnovers and mistakes. And I mean, being 6-7, once you started as badly as you did with the Baltimore Ravens, you were putting yourself behind the eight ball trying to get into the playoffs. Then they were 6-5, controlled their own destiny in the AFC North, and lose 2 in a row to the Bengals and the Steelers. So thank you. Thank you. I mean, how do the Dolphins feel about the future? I wish Tua wasn't under such a contract that he is. They are basically obligated to keep him on the roster. I don't think it precludes him from getting another quarterback for competition next year. Mike McDaniel probably will keep his job, but they have to improve the defense, especially the secondary. Oh, Carolina Panthers fan. Yeah, Panthers can win the NFC South. They are playing like the better team out of the two between they and the Tampa Bay Bucks. They were both 7-6. I'm not a Dolphins fan at heart. I'm a Ravens fan. Just have the Dolphins shirt on tonight. Switch it up every week. Uh, obviously, the locker room is a fan of Mike McDaniels, which says a lot. But that's it for tonight. If I didn't answer any questions, shoot me a DM. I don't mind answering any fantasy questions or whatever else. If you don't follow, yeah, I've been answering them. I'd hop off, but Andrew, just shoot me a DM and I'll answer for you. If you don't follow, you're into the analytics side of football, hit the follow button for me. Still growing the channel, first season. And thanks to everyone. Thanks soon.